Mayor Brandon Scott announcing $15 million in funding going to community groups to clean his city, while the Department of Public Works claims to be struggling to find employees and to enhance their aging equipment. Well, joining us now with official numbers from a recently filed Maryland Public Information Request, CEO of the watchdog group OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Andrzejewski. Adam, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, good morning, Tom.
Government keeps getting bigger, especially in Baltimore, yet the population of the city is shrinking drastically. This report is showing some alarming numbers here.
So here's what we found. Residents in the city of Baltimore, you're paying a lot more to the Department of Public Works, but you're receiving a lot less. We took a look at the payroll numbers over the course of the last decade, and here's what we found. That the headcount numbers over at the Department of Public Works are down slightly, but the overall cash compensation budget has exploded. Tom, stunning. It's gone from $84 million for 2,300 employees to $141 million with 15 fewer employees than a decade ago. So residents, you're paying a lot more, you're receiving a lot less. Obviously, trash pickup is once every 2 weeks now, and, the brown water is national news.
It is. And we're also seeing, though, when you found that report, your study at OpenTheBooks.com, Adam, you actually broke down the pay scales, too. A lot more people are getting more than $100,000 that are not actually out there doing the labor.
Yeah, seriously. So the department's very top-heavy today versus 10 years ago. And so we took a look at the head counts of the directors. 10 years ago, there was 2 directors. Now there's 5. We took a look at the job title of manager within the Department of Public Works. And 10 years ago, there was 14 managers. Today, there's 29. And then we took a look at the officers in charge. There's 71 of those currently, and 10 years ago, there was 13. Now, Tom, you mentioned something very important. 10 years ago, there was 2 six-figure public employees at a threshold salary of $100,000 or more. And today, there's 128 six-figure employees over at the Department of Public Works.
Yeah, Adam, it is really alarming when you just kind of break down the numbers and then you say the numbers here and you're like, okay, well, the population's shrinking, yet this keeps getting more and more expensive. You think maybe inflation. But when you look at that, it's just everyone's moving up the ranks, but they're not filling the lower tiers here.
Well, yeah, it's top heavy. That's a driver of this massive and stunning increase in payroll cost. But we took a look at inflation as well. I used the federal CPI calculator. I inflated the $84 million worth of payroll. It's not $141 million like it is today. It would only get to $103 million. So you can't blame inflation for this. This has been a function of poor management and poor oversight by the city council. And another example is last year they paid out $24 million worth of extra pay, which was an average of $11,000 per employee in the department. And they're paying out this extra pay because they haven't properly staffed their agency. So average cash compensation over at DPW is $60,000 a year.
Adam Andrzejewski with OpenTheBooks.com. Thank you for breaking down those numbers for us.
Thank you, Tom.